Hey, it's Hiraeth. Ever been told that video games are bad for you? That they rot your brain, turn you into a mindless zombie, and definitely don't make you any smarter? And that the moon landing was real? Well, today I'm putting that to the test. Literally. Not the moon landing. That's for another video. I'm talking about gaming's impact on intelligence. And I'm diving in head first. Or should I say, brain first? I'll see myself out. You see, I'm a corporate lawyer. Brain cells are kind of my currency. But what if playing games could turn me into a genius? Or will I just end up smashing my keyboard and questioning my life choices? Let's find out. So, here's the plan. I'll take a baseline IQ test and other aptitude tests that I've lined up, play some educational games for a week, and see if I level up, or basically crash and burn. Will these games give me aha moments, or will my single brain cell throw in the towel? Will I become the god I was meant to be? Not just a legend in gaming, but also the next prodigy after Einstein? Will my singular brain cell finally find a friend to share its home, or die while backflipping onto hentai trilogies? Stick around, because the results might just blow your mind, or make you question mine. Before we jump in, hit the subscribe button. Trust me, your brain will thank you later, probably. First up, Ludwig. No, not that Ludwig, though I did wonder if he could help me figure this one out. But then again, he spent hours trying to connect the controller the other week to his PC. So let's not count on that one. This is all a joke, please don't sue me. Well, in this game, you play as a robot in a post-apocalyptic future where humanity has apparently managed to squish, a billion people onto a space station, because that's a thing, right? How big is this thing? But what's even crazier is the game's music. Imagine listening to this while you pilot a tin can trying to not wipe out humanity. Let me say it again. There's a spaceship with billions of people crashing because this tin can crashed into it. And this is the music we get to play with for 90% of the game. After what felt like a lifetime of running around and my knees aching in real life, I realized this game wasn't making me smarter. If anything, I lost a few IQ points. Thumbs down from me. If you're still with me and your brain isn't mush yet, hit that like button. I promise. It's only going to get more interesting from here. Next up, Crazy Plant Shop. The fuck is this game? Where's settings? Why is it lagging? You play as a child running around a plant shop that sells a hot doggo plant, among others. Yup, you heard that right. Would you like it grilled or poached? Your choice. The game wants to teach you about plants, but all I learned was how to create a plant that shoots rainbows out of its ass. It's like a 5th grader's school project gone wild. And don't even get me started on the sound design. The absolute worst part is the sound design. I'm sorry, I'm not a master game maker, but how can you not audio balance your game? Put on a limiter, normalize the audio. It's not that hard, and I especially hate this character.
God bless you on this day, dear one. Please forgive me.
I think the voice actor put his mic on max volume just to mess with me. But I was determined. For all the small business owners out there, I could not let myself fail. I needed to win, to have that sweet juice of capitalism running through my veins, so I can retire as a crypto kid I was destined to be. Thumbs down from me, but hey, at least I made some virtual dollar. Next up, Educational Enamours. A game that caught my eye with this intriguing title. But wait, why is this in Russian? Alright, not exactly the kind of education we are looking for here. But to keep the integrity of this experiment intact, I decided to thoroughly investigate the benefits of educational enamours in private. Be right back. Well, that was refreshing, and unfortunately, while it did educate me in some ways, I'm not sure it made me any smarter. Definitely an interesting experience, to say the least. But let's move on to something a bit more intellectually stimulating, shall we? At this point, I was starting to wonder, would I ever get smarter? Or was it destined to remain a dumb gamer? But then, I found the game that reignited my hopes. A game so complex that it made my head spin in the best way possible. Enter Turing Complete, a game about building CPU architectures. And let me tell you, it's no joke. I went from clicking buttons aimlessly to actually understanding logic gates. The puzzles were tough, but they made me think. Like, look at these solutions to puzzles. How does it not take years for people to figure these out? And the best part, the music is absolutely fire. Thumbs up from me. Finally, some brain age gain. Now let's talk about Chinese parents. If you have ever wanted to live through the pressures of making your parents proud in a virtual world, this is your game. Miss the feeling that your parents aren't using you as an object to have a dick measuring contest with other adults and their family? Well, Chinese Parents is here to help you live out your fantasies. Spoiler, I tried to dunk on another kid by raising my charm to 1000. But let's just say, this game didn't make me any smarter. It just made me wish my virtual dad would finally come back with that milk. Thumbs up for cultural insights, but thumbs down from my brain. And finally, we had Sokobond, the game that combines chemistry and puzzles. This game was my revenge on high school chemistry. It made me think, strategize, and learn about chemical bonds in a way that didn't feel like torture. And it gives you little bits and facts about chemicals along the way. Oh my god, that is so cute! Fun fact, I have actually failed only one test in my life. And that was a chemistry test in high school, which I had to retake. I used to hate chemistry, and this was my revenge. After 10 years, I was finally taking my revenge. Take that, Mr. Chemistry Teacher. My brain was engaged, my neurons were firing, and I was actually having fun. Thumbs way up. We had finally made it to the end of the week. It was time to do or die. The fate of gamers around the world was resting on my shoulders. I had spent hours upon hours this week after long working days, some very tense nights, and what kept me going were the people and my love for gaming and the desire to prove the old neighborhood uncles wrong. Had I become smarter? Had I become more knowledgeable? Had I proven myself? Was I going to be the light that every gamer looks to? Or was I about to let everybody down? The fate of humanity was resting with me, and with that, I started with the first challenge by launching up, am I smarter than a 5th grader? While I knew I was not going to make it to the very end of the game, I was extremely determined to beat my previous score, and I set off. I was nervous, but I had to keep it together. If you could see my face, you'd see how tense it was. And speaking of face, if you do want it, the subscribe button is below. And if this video gets 200 likes, I'll pick a random comment to give Sokobond to, because sharing the brain age gains is what's this all about. With each question, the stakes got high. Last time, I was able to answer only 2 questions, and this time, I was making it. With a confident 3rd question locked in, I was already ahead. And even though I got scammed out of my 4th question, that felt nice. It was time to move on to the next evaluation, the human benchmark test. It contains various activities, remembering sequences, having reaction times, and different memory puzzles. And you get scored on everything. While doing this, I actually had forgotten my previous scores, but I was concentrating really hard. And the scores were in. And even though I did worse at some of them than before, my overall score was way better than before. I mean, look at that reaction time. My neurons were firing all over the place. And having gained some hope in the last 2 challenges, I had the final cornerstone in front of me, the dreaded IQ test. I felt like I had a pressure of 1,000 suns while going through these. And with each answer, each click, I was getting closer and closer. In a weird way, I found myself more confident than before. And I have to say, few of the questions to which I did not know answers to before somehow felt resolved in my mind this time around. So with the last question done, the moment had come to see where I stood to my previous self, where I got a score of 101 before after 1 week of excruciating grind of educational games. I was at 107, baby! The rush was real. I had done it. I had made gamers around the world proud to be able to say, yes, games can indeed make you smarter. If you're as hyped as I am, hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey. I'm trying to hit 1 million subscribers before my next birthday, but you will never know when that is, now will you? Really help me? Or really let me cry on my birthday, George? Huh, George? Why don't you answer, George? Tell me, George. George, why aren't you answering, George? Tell me, George! On a serious note, gaming has always been a big part of my life. It's made me smarter, more culturally aware, and better at communicating. So if games have ever helped you in any way, let me know in the comments. And remember, subscribing helps free this corporate slave to pursue his passion. Until next time.